Hello, this is Dr. Alan Yim. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a fully diminished 7th chord to modulate. So the nice thing about a fully diminished 7th chord is that it does give you the possibility to modulate to 3 different keys, because any of the pitches in the fully diminished 7th chord may be used as the root of the chord. So it acts as a leading tone to a new key. Alright, in the last video, I used the fully diminished 7th chord, B fully diminished 7th, in the key of C. So it looks like this. And of course, you can use this to tonicize, but earlier in the piece, maybe somewhere over here, I probably would have put a 5-7-1 somewhere over here. If we're writing in really a traditional way, and if you're analyzing a piece of music, you do expect normally to see the dominant 7th to modulate. To tonicize, but you could also use a diminished chord. And in this case, the fully diminished 7th is a non-diatonic chord. It's a borrowed chord from minor. In minor, of course, it's diatonic, but in C major, you have to add an A flat to make that B fully diminished 7th chord. Okay, when we come back to it, I could just keep the same chord symbol. So if a person's reading chord symbols, you don't need to make it overly complicated by writing the inverted symbol according to the new key. You could just keep the same B fully diminished 7th, just to make it simple for them. But let's see how we would reinterpret it. Okay, so in the last video, we know that B fully diminished 7th is B, D, F, A flat. So this is the chord, and we're going to use each of these pitches as a root. So if D is the root, well, we saw that E flat would be the key. Okay, if F is the root, well, G flat or F sharp. Well, sorry, F sharp could not be the key because we would have to reinterpret that as E sharp. So we didn't reinterpret that as E sharp, we would reinterpret it as F in the last video. So we could use the key of G flat. And then the last one, B, okay, A flat. Well, A flat, we reinterpreted that as G sharp, and we could say that that is going to the key of A. Now, we also mentioned that the relationship between these keys, they're a minor third apart. So you should make sure that the key that you're going to is, in fact, a minor third away from the other keys, because if not, you're going to the wrong key, and it's going to mess up everything. All right. Let me go ahead and play this now, and you can hear how it would sound going to these 3 different keys. So first of all, C, okay, and C, okay, and then again, I'm going to just use that B fully diminished chord. So instead, the next time I could go to E flat. Okay, and I wrote a 5 there. Let's put a 5 instead. I'll make this a dominant. So, okay, it sounds weird that way. Let me just, for the sake of my trying to play this and not messing this up, I'll just do this, and then I'll show you now. What I'm doing is I'm playing these other keys afterwards. So whatever dominant you see there, that's the one chord that's following. Okay, so starting with C. C, B fully diminished 7, C, and then to E flat. Okay, or we can go to G flat. Well, that's not the way we... Okay, I should indicate here that if you have a 7-4-3, in other words, you're interpreting F as the root, probably the one chord is going to have to be inverted. So we saw this back when we were looking at 7th chords and their inversions and how they resolve. We would expect that to be 1-6 probably. So to make it smooth. And then the last one, going to the key of A. Okay, how am I going to do this? Sorry. Actually, I can go this way, so that's okay. Alright, I hope this explains to you how you can use the fully diminished 7th chord as a pivot chord and harmonically reinterpreted. Now notice, when I do this, I don't change any of the pitches of that chord. So in other words, I try to, it's kind of nice to keep the voicing of the chord the same and to kind of pivot back and forth, and so that the second time you hear it, it's a little bit of a surprise. I mean, you don't have to do it this way, but it is nice to have parallel passages where you first use the chord as it is, you expect as a leading tone seventh, fully diminished seventh chord in the original key, and then the next time you reinterpret it and surprise the listener by going off and into the new key. That's it for this video. I hope this helps to explain it a little bit, and I'll see you in the next video.